Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Starting 11 show. Chelsea versus Everton, Stamford Bridge, 3 o'clock kick-off. Obviously a tough game, but Everton are in good form, and I've got, I'm sure, lots of confidence running through the team. Interesting this week because we've actually got players to pick from. We've got a few different choices. So I was a little bit, in two minds about this team. What I've gone for could easily be different. Just change one position here or there, but this is the team I'm going for. In goal, of course, Jordan Pickford, looking hopefully for another clean sheet. That would be massive down at Stamford Bridge. At right back, now this was one of the areas I was really thinking about. We're having a couple of midfield options available. And also, I don't think Carlos Alcaraz has done too badly. I was thinking of moving James Garner there. But I just think maybe just for the size of the game and maybe the way we want to play as well. It doesn't make it defensive, but we saw it at Old Trafford when we need to dog out and play on almost on the counter attack basically. It's not the worst thing having someone like Jake O'Brien at right back. And having that back four that we've seen in the, mostly this season. So, yeah, James Garner could play there and someone could come over, and that's something that maybe could happen during the game. But I just think we can still be on the front foot. Jake came on and played 80 minutes at Old Trafford and we were still on the front foot. So I'm going to go for Jake O'Brien at right back. At left back, Vitaly Michalenko. Obviously, going to play every game, isn't he? 2 centre-backs, James Tarkowski and Michael Keane. But it was great to hear from David Moyes that Jared Branthwaite is getting closer. He's on the grass, which is a very, very triggering phrase, I must admit. He's back, which would mean that's probably about a month away, maybe. He said Maitland Rowe was back on the grass and he said he was due back in January, so you might look at that and think it might be about a month. And to be honest, I don't think we need to. We'd love Jared back as quickly as possible. He should go straight back in the team. But also at the same time, not rushing him is probably good for him as well. And but that'll be tough. That'll be tough on the 2 centre backs. But that's what maybe having James Garner is good for, is putting him in at right back for some games and taking Jake O'Brien and playing him at centre back and giving maybe Michael Keane a blow. Certainly, obviously someone who's obviously suffered from an injury of late as well. I think that is important because what I don't want to get to is that situation we had a couple of years ago where we had a decent run and then we went to Wolves on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it was Christmas Day for Wolves that day, and every player looked burnt out. Every single player looked burnt out because we'd had a really good run. But by the time we'd got to Wolves, everyone just looked dead on the feet. And of course, without a couple of players going to the AFCON as well, we don't want to be in that situation. So it's not the worst thing in the world just to move one player in, move one player out, but that's also saying that, not rushing Jared Branthwaite, because I just feel like he's such an important player and he could be massive in the second half of the season for us, that we just make sure that he's absolutely perfect when we bring him back. Because let's not forget, he'd been injured. And I don't want to remember this bit. When he got injured in the Roma game, he was coming back from an injury just ahead of the Premier League season. And then he goes through rehab and then he picks up another injury. So that's why they went for the operation. So let's hope that when he's back, he is perfect. Moving into midfield, for me, Idrissa Gana Gueye comes back into the side. And the simple reason is because this is his last game before he goes to AFCON for a month. And again, for that reason, there's no point having him on the bench sitting there. And I've heard people say, well, he got suspended, he did a stupid thing, it's his own fault, he shouldn't be back in the team. I get that. But at the same time, again, he won't be there next week, and that'll give whoever drops out an opportunity to come back. And we have to use the whole of our squad. We have to, the best we can in the next few weeks. It's going to be very tough. We've got tough games. We've got more away games, it seems, than we've got home games coming up as well. So it's going to be tough, and the squad is going to be stretched. So we have to use everything. So for me, Idrissa Gana Gueye is in there with James Garner, who, as I said, could have started at right back. And again, you look at that as well. James Garner's on 4 yellow cards. If he can get to the new year and not get that 4th yellow card, then that would be amazing. But you just feel like it'll be something stupid, like he'll fall over somebody or something like that, or someone will drag him down and he'll get booked for it. It'll be something ridiculous. So he's another player that we've got to be very careful with, but that doesn't mean leaving them out. That means playing them. And obviously we know he'll do a good job for us. And with them, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who I think won't be playing as a number 10 really. Probably playing just in that number 8 role, very similar to what he's been doing. Let Idrissa Gana Gueye mop up, obviously, a lot more stuff, but not being right off the striker like maybe we saw Carlos Alcaraz done. This is going to be a tough game, and it's going to be a battle in midfield, and we're going to need to get on the ball, and that's where Dewsbury-Hall is going to have to be very, very busy and be right in there. And I think that's the same for all 3 midfielders. They'll just be in slightly different parts of the pitch. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall being slightly over to the left, Idrissa probably slightly over to the right, and James Garner maybe sitting more into the middle. Hopefully that'll be the ticket to, not giving the ball away cheaply and grabbing hold of the game. On the right hand side, Iliman Ndiaye obviously playing his last game till as I said, mid-January, which is a big blow for us. We won't know how big that blow is till we play Arsenal and we play Burnley and Forest. He's obviously a huge player, so we're looking for obviously a big game for him to before he leaves. And obviously we don't know who's going to replace him, really. I suppose if you were a bet man at the moment, you might look more at Dwight McNeil than Tyler Dibblin, but we'll have to wait and see. It could also be Carlos Alcaraz. The manager might change the shape slightly, and it could be Carlos Alcaraz playing over there. I've even seen suggestions of James Garner playing over there. But I think it has to be someone who comes in and that's his role for the month. And that could be where, the manager might go, no, this is the opportunity. Now Tyler Diblin's going to get 4 or 5 games back to back, very much like we've done with Barry, where we've backed him. Suppose the manager is the only one who actually knows where he is in his development and whether he's ready for that. We'll wait and see. On the left-hand side, Jack Grealish, obviously, even by his own standards, he actually said he thought he had a poor game last week. I heard it on Gary Lineker's podcast because he bumped into him when Gary Lineker oddly walked into the Everton changing room by accident. And Jack Grealish chased after him and they had a chat, and he said he didn't think he had a particularly good game last week. But he's still effective, and it would be nice to just see Jack have a big game with grabbing an assist, because he hasn't got an assist for a while, or even more importantly, a goal. But it'd be nice to see Jack take the game to them. And up front, Tierno Barry obviously scored his first goal last week. I'm sure the confidence is flowing. It'd be interesting to know what that situation is with his shoulder, where he is with that, whether that's like an issue that's going to plague him, for a while, or it's whether something he's getting used to, or whatever it is. But he said he's had shoulder problems, but we don't want that to become a thing, because obviously you'll see defenders target him. But hopefully he builds on what he did last week, and we start using him better. Really, we know what his strengths are, and it's about playing into him now. So that's my starting 11. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As I said, Timur Abunam is back from suspension. You've got Carlos Alcaraz there as well. Could James Garner go to right back? All these things are possible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like. Check out the match preview Baz and myself have done. Make sure you check out the exclusive interview with Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. Absolutely fantastic interview with Baz. And he's very open. Seems a great fella. Seems to just love being at Everton at the moment. So make sure you check out that. That is available. If you want more videos, exclusive podcasts, make sure to join us over on Toffee TV Premier. The link in the description. QR code's coming on the screen now. See you later.